Welcome back to News Geelong. The memory of the late Max Snell will continue to live on with the unveiling of an electronic scoreboard named in his honour at his beloved Leopold Recreation Reserve last Saturday. It was a very special occasion for the club, the Leopold Community Bank and the Snell family, as News Geelong spoke to some of the key people involved.
Thanks very much, Graham, for having us on board. It is a special day. Leopold Football Club was very proud to be able to unveil the Max Snell scoreboard in memory of one of our greats. Max was involved in the club for about 50 years, and 15 of those years he was our timekeeper and did a fantastic job. And in honour of his services, we've named the scoreboard after Max, which is absolutely fantastic. We're really proud of what we've achieved.
And the funding in putting the scoreboard into place is also a very, very close story to the Leopold Football Club itself and the suburb of Leopold.
That's right, Graham. We were very, very lucky in having the Snell family. They donated a significant amount of money towards the scoreboard. That was supported by the Leopold Community Bank and also the City of Greater Geelong. And the scoreboard cost us in excess of $40,000. And without the Snell's contribution, this would not have happened.
And it was great to see at the official unveiling the happy smiling face of Maxie Snell overlooking the ground.
Look, it was the least we can do. As I said, Max was an absolute stalwart of the club, and we had his face up on the scoreboard, and I'm sure if he was looking down at us today, and I'm sure he would be, he'd be very proud.
And in addition, on top of the roof of the rooms, which is on the other side of the ground, you have another electronic scoreboard compliments to the City of Greater Geelong, giving you and your supporters a 360-degree know what the score is at any time.
That's correct. The City of Greater Geelong did come on board, and they put some money towards the scoreboard above the pavilion. That was orchestrated by our councillor Rod McDonald, and it certainly is fantastic for the club. And as you mentioned, Graham, people on the other side of the ground for the first time will now be able to see the scoreboard above the pavilion, and they won't have to get out of their cars and have a look at the main scoreboard. So it's fantastic for the club.
The Snell family representatives here today at the Leopold Football Club and the unveiling of the Max Snell Memorial scoreboard, electronic scoreboard. Marge Snell, Max's wife. A wonderful, wonderful day, Marge.
It has been. It's been great, yes.
Brings back many wonderful memories of Max's involvement with the Leopold Football Club.
Yes, from the second year of operation he was involved. And he spent many hours here, and we spent a lot of time serving hot dogs and all of that sort of thing in the early days when there was only a tin shed here. It's improved a lot over the years.
And Marge, you're the epitome of behind every great man is a greater woman.
Oh, I don't know about that, but we were a partnership, yes.
And son Rowan, who spoke today at the official opening, a very special moment for you and all of the Snell family.
Absolutely. It took a long time for this to happen. We came to them at the beginning of last year about this, and it's taken 18 months to organise it. So, yeah, it's a job well done on everyone's behalf.
And I suppose in a little way the sadness was that when you first made the approach, it was unfortunate that it was rejected because dear old Max, your dad, was still alive and unfortunately passed away in November with pancreatic cancer, but the memory still lives on large and clear.
Well, that's right. I mean, it was a bit disappointing that the council wouldn't allow it because he was still alive, but we just persisted, and once Dad died in December, then that was just go ahead with it then, and yeah, Michael Malecki and the club just did a really good job.
Rowan, what memories do you have of Dad as a attacker, going along watching him play football, sitting in the timekeeper's box beside him?
No, I wasn't in the timekeeper's box, but I did sit and watch him from the ground, this very ground, back in the late 60s, and yeah, they were my first childhood memories, and they're very special times.
And Marge, Max was a very fine player, over 145 games with Leopold, and a terrific ruckman.
He won the most consistent player 3 years in a row. I wouldn't say he was a spectacular player, but he was consistent.
Both on and off the field.
Yes.
And also very good with the tennis racket.
All kinds of sports. He was a reasonable achiever. Never brilliant, but a reasonable achiever at most things he took on.
Thank you to the Leopold Football Club and the Snell family. In our regional roundup tonight, the Strengthening Risk Management Development Project into Relationship and Family Violence is halfway through the 2-year program and is already demonstrating that children are significantly involved with everyday referrals to Bethany services. A receiver acting for various car parts suppliers reportedly has predicted that Ford Australia will quit its Australian operations in 4 years. City of Greater Geelong Mayor John Mitchell said, "As a city, we certainly understand that manufacturing is in transition and the automobile industry is under some pressure, but it could always turn around." The Victorian Civil and Administrative Tribunal has overruled a state agency's ruling that will give a Belmont firm its bid to sell yabbies for human consumption, a significant boost. Deakin University's study that investigates how far and fast children run when they play football involves fitting junior footballers with GPS tracking devices and could help determine the future of junior football by helping to explain why kids are so physically spent after a Saturday morning game. And the Geelong Mayor John Mitchell will convene a public forum to evaluate the impact of TAFE budget cuts on the Gordon, calling for bipartisan talks in response to a landslide of community reaction to the recent $14.6 million state government cuts. And finally, the 2012 Australian Youth Classical Music Competition National Finals concert will be held at Deakin Costa Hall on the Waterfront campus on Thursday, August 16 at 7:30 p.m, with a first prize on offer of $10,000. As we go to a break on News Geelong, we'll return with more sport and weather after this.